What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another breakdown of Star Wars Skeleton Crew. We are breaking down episode 5. We're going to recap it, and then I'll give you my thoughts on the episode. Overall, so far, liking the series. Episode 4, not my favorite, probably my least favorite out of the first 4 episodes that were released. And I'm finally caught up through episode 5. Episode 6 is dropping tonight, so I'm going to be recording a lot over the next couple of days, trying to catch up with these episodes. But episode 5, on At-Aten, the parents desperately try to send a message beyond the barrier, but this attempt is foiled. Farah admits to Wendell that they have to go behind the supervisor's back. The crew managed to restrain SM-33 and alter his programming to prevent him from turning on them. He reveals that the hidden treasure belonged to a famed pirate, Tak Renad, meaning that the ship that they are on is the Onyx Cinder. SM-33 agrees to take them to his hidden base, which has since been turned into a luxury planet called Lanupa. Jod disguises the children as elders as they arrive on the planet. However, his former partner, Pocket, a freelancer, outs his location to Brutus. With help from the patron Cathalops, the crew make their way deep into Lanupa's hidden caves, maneuvering through booby traps until they find Renad's hidden base. They find the coordinates to At-Aten and learn that the treasure is a mint that creates infinite credits. When Fern reminds Jod of their fair reward he was promised, Jod, desiring the mint, challenges Fern for the captaincy and, with a blade to her throat, urges her to yield. Wim, with a lightsaber in hand that he found in the treasure pile, threatens Jod. However, when he activates it, he is surprised by its activation and it being held upside down, drops the lightsaber, and then Fern eventually yields, but the children escape when Wim activates a booby trap, dropping them out of sight. Jod then picks up the lightsaber, and then that's the end of the episode. So overall thoughts, this is my favorite episode out of the 5 that I have seen so far. I think, when you go back and you kind of look at the other episodes, especially like episodes 1 and 2, and everybody's saying, me included, oh, this is very Goonies inspired. This has a lot of E.T. It's very Steven Spielberg-esque in a way. And when you watch this episode and then you look back at those other 2 episodes, that's when you realize that you were wrong about those first 2 episodes. This was the Goonies episode that we have been really just waiting for so far throughout season 1. Very much gave me Goonies vibes throughout the entire episode. I mean, hell, it's them going through booby traps and through caves, trying to find a treasure of sorts. And of course, they say pirate no less than like 30 to 40 times in this episode. So they make it known that the inspiration there is Goonies. And I'm not mad at it. I think that added a lot to this episode. And it kind of reminded me of why I love the Goonies so much. They inserted the best humor out of the first 4 episodes. Out of the first 5 episodes, this one has the best humor. And it's not just like a little moment here or there where they kind of break the levity up a little bit. No, they use Jod to really bring forth a lot of that humor, and I think it works really, really well in this episode. And he's not necessarily been a cut and dry type of character. He's had his moments, especially with his interactions with the kids, that the humor kind of comes out in those interactions. But it feels like in this episode, it was taken to that next level. And you could probably argue that it was kind of a jolt tone-wise in comparison to the other 4 episodes. And I really appreciated a lot of the Goonies aspects that they woven through this episode. Now, there wasn't a ton of character development in this episode. We do get a little bit more with Fern and kind of her struggle with being, I guess, the de facto captain. And then we get Wim, who looks like he's finally going to stand up for Fern. Jod has Fern by the neck with a blade, and then we have Wim off to the background, and he has the lightsaber, and you're like, hell yeah, man. Stand up for your girl. And let's fucking take back this pirate ship, right? And that doesn't happen. But the exchange there is funny. The interaction between all these characters and his moment of where he thinks the lightsaber is pointed upwards and it is not. I found that pretty funny. But man, it would have been cool to see him stand up for Fern when they've been at odds with each other throughout the first half of the season. But I really enjoyed this episode overall. it wasn't necessarily a side adventure because it does push the story forward. Whereas, like last episode, it very much was a side quest episode filler, and then we had a little bit of character development in there more so than anything. This episode pushes that story forward more so than the last episode. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It is definitely my favorite out of the first 5 that have been released. So, guys, let me know down below of what you thought about episode 5, and I will catch y'all next time on another episode. Latest.